Upon arriving at the Western Palace, the Empress encounters Sovieshu's servant holding a wheeled stand with a cloth covering it. The servant reveals a blue bird in a cage as a gift from the Emperor. She is horrified and wonders if Sovieshu intended to mock her. The Empress cannot bring herself to look after the bird, so she calls for Countess Eliza to return it. Rashta is anxious after Sovieshu promised to make her Empress, but he hasn't yet done so. This morning, Sovieshu prepares a blue bird for Empress Navier, which makes Rashta angry. Rashta asks the servant to left the bird on her room and Eliza will deliver it back to the Emperor. Koser is pondering revenge on Sovieshu and Rashta and ensuring his sister's empressship. A bearded mom approaches him, claiming to be from the Western Kingdom. Koser is surprised to learn that King Heinley sent him to bring him back to discuss his sister's situation. Koser is suspicious of a scam involving a Western king trying to set a meeting to him. The man points out the symbol of the Western Kingdom on his chest, which Koser acknowledges as real. However, he doesn't care about the Western king's summons and doesn't answer any questions about his sister. He asks if he could guide him. Koser did not trust King Heinley. No matter how much he thought about it, there was no reason for the Western king to call him. He recalled the rumors that the Western king had fallen head over heels in love with Rashta. At the New Year's celebration, Rashta admires a blue bird, but is hesitant to admire its appearance. She apologizes to the bird and pluck its feathers. Despite her guilt, Rashta is determined to protect herself and her baby. Rashta must secure her safety, even if it means doing a terrible thing. Sovieshu enters Rashta's room, when he noticed she was crying, and he saw the bird in the cage. Rashta told the emperor that the empress sent the bird back, and she want to raise it. Sovieshu offers to buy Rashta a new bird, but Rashta refuses. Rashta is wondering why the emperor is not angry with the empress as he should be. Marquis Karl presented his report to Sovieshu. He asked if he had found Rashta's slave certificate, but he denied having. Sovieshu is attempting to change Rashta's status by getting a fallen nobility as her parents. He is unsure of how to proceed, as he must marry within a year. He will use a method used by previous emperors to change a concubine's identity by asking Marquis Karl to get one. The Empress asks Duke LG if McKenna is a bird, and she specifically asks if McKenna is a member of Birdhead tribe, but the Duke chuckles at ask if it is an insult. The Empress is embarrassed and explains it's nothing then leave. Baron Lant, Sovieshu's secretary, introduces the topic of Rashta's parents, claiming to be from the Kalin family. The emperor is unsure if this is true, but hopes it is true. The situation is a cynical one, as Sovieshu is about to divorce the empress. Sovieshu's father, which is the previous emperor, has a history of giving his concubine a noble parents that he despised, which the empress finds absurd, as he was doing the same thing. Sovieshu is approached by Ambassador Lingle of Blue Bohine, who shares a strange story about a couple's lost daughter, Miss Rashta. The couple are nobles, and the emperor speculates that one of the couples may be a fraud. Sovieshu commands locking up the criminals to prevent them from escaping. Rashta, struggling with depression, visits Duke LG and surprised that the meeting went crazy when revealed their two parents looking for her. Rashta decides to choose the one that Duke LG chose as couple Baron Lant presented was fake. Rashta is advised to treat fake her parents like real ones. Since Empress don't have fake parents, Duke LG will treat her like their long-lost daughter. Sovieshu, along with Baron Lant and Marquis Karl, enters the Western Tower alone. He meets the fake couple bought by Baron Lant, who confess to deceiving them into becoming Rashta's parents. The nobles, who appear thin and pale, follow Sovieshu's words that it is not Baron Lant that commanded them, but Koser Troby. Sovieshu, unsure if he is getting divorced, writes down the reasons for the divorce, including Koser Troby's abuse of Rashta, his kidnapping and assault of Viscount Roteshu, and his bribery of a noble couple. Sovieshu tries to end the situation by banishing Troby, but is unsuccessful. As he contemplates the decision, Marquis Karl asks if it was the right choice. Sovieshu seals the divorce papers and handed them to Karl to deliver to High Priest. The Empress is rumored to be infertile, and Marquis Karl questions why he believes so. Marquis Karl believes that the Empress is still young and she can bear children in the future, but Sovieshu has decided to divorce the Empress. Sovieshu presented Rashta to the Blue Bohine couple, who he knew were her true parents. He had interrogated them and had several reasons why Rashta could be considered their biological daughter. Rashta agreed, and the noble couple began crying. They were emotional, and Sovieshu ordered the prison guards to open the cell door. After a brief reunion, the noble couple cried again, and Soviesha warned them that their necks would be on the execution stand if they were frauds. Koser finally arrived in the capital of the Western Kingdom, and was passing through the palace gates. King Heinley was already waiting for him there. A message was sent when Koser had passed through the main gates, but he didn't expect the king to welcome him at his immediate arrival. Koser is introduced to King Heinley by an escort. Heinley is eagerly anticipating Koser's arrival, and he greets him as elder brother. Koser is stunned and unsure of how to react. Heinley is unsure about what to do beyond this point, as he needs to gain favor from Navier's family. In Heinley's eyes, Koser is priority number one. Heinley confesses to Koser that he promised to marry his sister Empress Navier. He saw the handkerchief of Navier, which Heinley explained that Navier tied it on his neck. Koser was surprised hearing it. Heinley then explains that Empress Navier proposed to him first and believed that she did it because Emperor Sovieshu is preparing to divorce her. Koser is shocked by this news, and Heinley admits that she offered him a marriage of convenience. Koser, aware of Sovieshu's love for his pregnant concubine, questions why King Heinley accepted a proposal from Navier. Heinley explains that he loves her, revealing a complex relationship that Koser cannot comprehend. Koser, suspicious of Heinley's alleged womanizing tendencies, immediately rebuke that he a womanizer. He explains that his pretended freedom was intentional to blind people's eyes. Koser then questions Heinley about his marriage to Empress Navier and their communication methods. Heinley informs Koser that Emperor Soviesha noticed their communication and that they need to find another way to communicate. Koser collaborates with King Heinley, using Marquis Farang to send letters to Navier outside the capital. Marquis Farang delivers a letter from Heinley. The Empress was surprised that Heinley had met with her brother and found a way to deliver his letter to her. She asked if he had the blue bird with him. Marquis Farang answered that it is in his home and was caged. She also asked Marquis Farang if the blue bird is injured or if it has an arrow wound. He doesn't notice, but he will check it out. She also requested to remove the bird from the feeder. Navier answered the letter she received from Heinley, as she writes the emperor's desire to leave her and his promise to Rashta to divorce her. Marquis Farang leaves immediately so that she can receive a letter earlier, leaving the empress feeling better as she enjoyed being in contact with Heinley and knowing the blue bird is safe. Countess Eliza tells the empress that Baron Lamp bought fake parents, but the couple denies this. But they point finger on Koser, who they said the one who commanded them to lie. The empress leaves her chambers, deciding to meet the couple in person. The couple greeted the empress, but she interrogated them, asking if her brother ordered them to pretend to be fake parents. The couple admitted that her brother, Lord Koser, threatened them and they had no choice. She questions the couple about her brother's appearance. The couple is confused and tries to correct their mistake. The empress then confronts the emperor, who is standing on the wall. Sovieshu accused her of pressuring them and causing them to speak nonsense. The empress sees how determined Sovieshu's intent to divorce her, regardless of the truth of the couple's words. He believes the brother of the empress was banished for repeated harm to the emperor's baby, which could be used as justification for divorce. She exits and stops arguing and returns to her chamber. The empress ordered her ladies-in-waiting to see the secretaries of the emperor, and she noticed that Marquis Karl is absent. Marquis Karl is absent from the palace due to his orders to be out of the palace for a few days. That means that Sovieshu already sent a file for application for divorce to the high priest. The high priest will discuss the divorce with Sovieshu in person, and the court will gather. The empress must decide whether to accept Sovieshu's divorce or face a lengthy process. The victory always goes to the emperor. The empress is worried about her upcoming divorce and decides to write a letter to Heinley, expressing her desire to remarry. She realizes that no empress or queen has ever remarried after divorce, and she needs to obtain clear consent from the high priest. She hands the letter to Sir Artina, commanding her to bring it to Marquis Farang, leaving the ladies-in-waiting worried. She apologizes and promises to update them after everything has settled. She waits for Sir Artina to deliver a letter to Marquis Farang, but finds out he failed to deliver. Marquis Farang left for the Western Kingdom. She demands Sir Artina to find him and deliver the letter. The letter must be delivered to Heinley before the high priest arrives. The high priest arrived at the imperial palace, causing the palace to be puzzled, and he privately spoke with Sovieshu.